Hello, greetings, and hi. Thank you for tuning in, and it's great to have you with us. Wet sealants like CarPro Hydro Lite are very popular among you. Why? Because to be honest, you can't achieve such great results as quickly with any other sealing method as you can with these here. Because we wash our car in the self-service box, we rinse off the shampoo, and before we dry the car, we spray a little of this product here onto the paint, rinse it off, and we're done, achieving really strong sealing results, sometimes even 2000. However, the application in the self-service box is particularly tricky with such products. I would say that 9 out of 10 products available on the market in this category recommend the component-based application. This means we spray it onto a component and then we have to rinse it off. If I am allowed to wash at home and I have my own pressure washer, then it is usually not a problem. In 2001, when I work at the self-service box, it means that I have to constantly put in and throw in a lot of money because it takes me a long time to seal the car in this way. Or I need a second person, meaning one person runs around the car spraying while the other person, the second, follows up directly with the high-pressure cleaner. None of this is ideal. However, there is an application method for wet sealants in the self-service box U-Sand that I would like to discuss in this video, which will essentially save your skin. Yes, you still need a bit more money compared to other sealing methods, as you have to insert a little more money into the machine at the self-service box. However, you will need significantly less time, and you do not require a second person to apply a wet sealant at the self-service box. The following 2001, and I hope you forgive me for this, were recorded for another video. However, that other video was more focused on the specific product, namely the CarPro Hydro Lite. However, while I was making this video, I thought that a separate video on the application or this method would also be cool for you in case you are specifically looking for this method. And that's why the following scenes will ultimately be shown in 2 videos. I think that's okay. We'll also start right here at the roof. You can see that the car is still wet, and this is already a very, very important point. Make sure that there is enough water on it. In case of doubt, since you already have the pressure washer activated, spray a little more on, and then spray the Hydrolite directly onto the paint. You can actually do about half a roof well, and then rinse it off immediately. It is very, very important to spray with wet sealants until there is no more foam or white residue on the paint, because only then have you removed all the residues. The second variant I want to share with you is to set the spray of the wet sealant to full, meaning that a concentrated stream comes out and there is no more misting. And then you spray thoroughly into the water jet of the pressure washer. And you can clearly see that something indeed lands on the paint, definitely, without a doubt. But the important thing is that with this method, you can now very easily go around the whole entire car and also not anymore have to work painstakingly with great effort on a component by component basis. And I can tell you one thing, and that is I wish I had known this incredibly useful and time-saving tip regarding the application and use of wet sealants from the very beginning of my car maintenance journey. Because it saves you an incredible amount of time and hassle, especially when you are at the self-service box at the car wash. Now, with this tip in mind, you can easily walk around the whole car without any problems or interruptions. And we don't have to come up with any strange or complicated tips like, for example, the need to be 2 people where one person sprays while the other rinses off. Yes, that works very well too, but you are not always 2 people. So we are done with that. If you are now worried that you might lose any sealing performance with this method, I will simply show you a few pictures and let them speak for themselves. In the year 2001, a significant event occurred that has left an indelible mark on history. This momentous occasion is so well known and impactful that it hardly requires any further elaboration. The events of that year have been discussed, analyzed, and remembered by countless individuals across the globe. From documentaries to books and from personal anecdotes to academic studies, the significance of what transpired in 2001 cannot be overstated. It is a year that stands out in the collective memory of humanity, and its importance is universally acknowledged. Therefore, it is safe to say that we don't need to say much more about that particular year, as its legacy speaks volumes on its own. And that's it. That's the whole method. It's not rocket science, my God. And I didn't invent this method either. This tip about spraying directly into the water jet of the high-pressure cleaner has been around for a while. It must be clearly stated. Now, I would like to point out one more thing. This method does not override the laws of chemistry and physics. This means that if it is extremely warm or even hot outside, if your paint is still warm or even hot, if you have too little water on the paint, or if you already have another sealant on the car, then automatically less water will remain after rinsing the shampoo. All these things increase the risk of creating streaks with wet sealants, and this method does not negate that. This means that it is not a method that guarantees us 100% and always that we apply a wet sealant streak-free, but it significantly reduces the risk. And above all, it significantly reduces the risk when we don't follow the manufacturer's recommendations. And my God, I think we've all done that at some point. I don't exclude myself from that. We've all thought to ourselves, why on earth should I treat my car body partially? Why? I'm being careful. It's cold outside. We are in the damp area next to the self-service box and the paint is nice and cold. I just spray the whole car, and that is automatically always an inherent, a gigantic risk that we create streaks. And I would recommend it to you this way if you want to do it like that, meaning if you want to spray the whole car and then rinse it with the high pressure cleaner, then you should rather use the method I showed you in this video. That is, spray into the high pressure cleaner. Because whether you do it this way or that way, the time needed is the same. If you use these sealants, as the manufacturer indicates and states, meaning partially built, then you do not need this method. You can skip it, and that's all I wanted to say about this method. If the video was helpful, informative, exciting, and interesting for you, we would be very happy if you could give us a thumbs up. Feel free to support the channel with a free subscription and tune in for the next video. Bye.